when we first started getting involved with Darren, and it really felt like such a weight off of our shoulders, feeling like we had somebody else in our corner.
Hello, my name is Christopher Phipps, and I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, and we are in the masonry and concrete industry.
And my name is SaraLynn Phipps, and we are the owners of Phipps Masonry.
Yeah, I feel like we were at a place for a couple of years where we hadn't had any like decent sized growth in the company. So we really wanted to find somebody to kind of help us like grow, the company from you could talk in numbers, you could talk in maturity, you could talk in taking on bigger projects and how to manage those. So just helping someone to kind of like guide us through certain situations that we were going through.
Looking back, I feel like we were kind of spinning our wheels of trying to grow in certain ways and maybe not knowing exactly the fastest way to get from A to B, and seeing the company grow was our ultimate goal together.
I feel like from the initial phone call that we had with Darren, which I think was maybe only like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, we just had like such a great feeling about it. I think that I remember specifically telling him, like about our style of business. So I think from the initial phone call, just the way that he presented himself, and truly like showed his knowledge from, like I said, not just a large company, but also like a smaller company as well.
Letting somebody new in and trusting somebody new was very hard for us. And, I feel like when we met there, we just felt like he was somebody that we could trust immediately.
Business wise, I think that, whenever I first met Darren, I had some things that I really wanted to accomplish. But I just remember Darren, me presenting like this model and this stuff that I wanted to do. And he was like, sure. He was like, let's talk about it. He was like, let's talk about what this is going to cost. Not financially, but like mentally. I felt like he was like, why exactly are you wanting this? Like what's your reasoning for it? And I don't think that would have been possible, if we would have stuck with that route a couple years ago.
If I were to recommend him to a family member or a friend, which I would, I think I would just say, buckle up. I think I would say, you would be surprised at the life-changing advice that Darren would give you in the most unexpected ways.
Yeah, I mean, he's life-changing. I stand by that 100%. I think that it's important to go into it with like an open mind. We would sit down and every once in a while I would say something like, I don't really know if this is too much information or if this is, really appropriate or not. And he would just say, lay it out. He's like, I cannot give you like the best advice possible if you don't tell me everything. And I thought that was such like a cool thing, instead of like somebody saying, I don't want to hear about your personal life. Like, tell me strictly about the business. How are your numbers this week? It's amazing because Darren did get us to like such a great place, like an amazing place. Yeah, I mean, it's life-changing, what he was able to do for us. So I feel like, if you're interviewing people or if you're on the fence of like, should I go with him or should I go with someone else? This person wouldn't even be close to Darren.
His perspective is so unique. I think, one of the things that we really liked about Darren is that not only is he great with looking at the reports and the numbers and things that we've shown him, he also has a history. He was previously a lawyer, and I think from that perspective as well, because he can look at things from several different perspectives. I think that is a very unique aspect of Darren's history that makes him stand out from other people. And I think also a lot of his perspective and advice comes from a psychological approach to look at your business and say, you can grow from A to B in this way is totally different from looking at it from a completely holistic viewpoint.